Shall we begin?
Welcome to the Savage Monster Cast. I'm your host, Scott Marchand Davis of Happy Monster Press.
Let's begin now.
This week on the Happy Monster Podcast, the heroes of Expeditionary Team Alpha 1-2 make an unexpected new friend who has some very dangerous enemies.
My name is Brendan. I will be playing Leviticus Overton, a quick flex glitter boy.
Hi, my name is Frankie. I'm playing Kuva, a Simvin Burster.
Hi, my name is Jong Soo, and I will be playing an elf cyber knight named Mingbi.
Hi, my name is Frank, and I'm playing Click, a Troubadour Techno Wizard.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bob, and I'm playing Quinlan, who's an elven leyline walker.
Hi, my name is Steve, and I'm playing Lance, the human juicer.
Last week on the Happy Monster Podcast. You will form a special expeditionary team. You'll be known as Special Expeditionary Team Alpha 1-2. Your mission is to conduct a patrol of several small towns which are under the protection of the Tomorrow Legion to our north and west. Painted on the sides of these trailers are the words, Professor Wickham's Traveling Menagerie. Click and Leviticus both notice that Rex is dyed brown. This does not appear to be his natural color. And Leviticus, you go a step further. You are pretty sure that what you're looking at is not, in fact, a dog, but actually a wolf.
Okay. I kind of quietly whisper my conclusions to everybody.
As the show begins to wind down, you see him talking to her, and then she follows him over towards Rex the Wonder Dog's trailer. You're listening to the trailer, and your keen juicer senses, you hear what sounds like a moan and kind of a crunching sound.
I'm gonna kick down the door.
Kick down the door. You kick down the door, and you see the professor seated in a chair. The woman is on the floor. There's no sign of Rex the Wonder Dog, but there is a humanoid with its mouth and fangs latched onto the young woman's throat. We're out of combat, and a whole bunch of the locals and the Carney folk are gathering around, trying to understand what the heck is going on here. Lady Mimby, what's going on here?
I carry out the prone young woman.
The troopers are very upset. No, trust us. We had no idea. They're backing away. They're raising their hands. Look, we didn't know. Yeah, Click is able to heal the wilderness scout though. That's Clayton the sharpshooter.
Kill him too.
Well, you could interrogate Clayton, the sharpshooter, and see what he has to say. When you arrive, he's got his arms folded, and he's basically saying, "I ain't talking."
I can change that pretty quickly.
So I kind of sussed out that we might be traveling with a vamp, but this is a good gig, and I didn't want to rock the boat. The Nathans kind of confer for a minute, and they come back and say, all things considered, if what you say is true, I think exile is the right path for him. Take his weapons, take his armor, put him out in the wilderness, see how he does then. He claims to be a wilderness scout. Let's see him prove it. We noticed you folk came here on foot. We're thinking that the rest of these folk can take their vehicles and go, but that ATV that was attached to the professor's trailer, we figured we'd hang on to that and hand it over to the Legion. Last time you defeated the evil professor and his trusty vampire, and you acquired this lovely ATV, which you are now rolling over the hills and through the woods on your next community, which is known as Bob's Town.
Yay!
Okay.
If anyone would like to jump in with an interlude of a conversation they might be having in the ATV and or over the radio, then this would be an opportunity for that.
I've decided as like a character thing that Quinlan really likes Pink Floyd, and through his eccentric studies, he's been known to a few people as the Crazy Diamond.
Okay.
Don't know why, but he's going to explain it eventually.
Are you playing Pink Floyd? Because I don't want to hear it.
So I guess as soon as he hits the dial, like you slap his hand, and he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, we'll be having none of that.
But yeah, long story short, it involves messing around on ley lines with precious gemstones and burning one's hands.
Gotcha.
Burning one's hand?
Yeah.
What would you like us to call you?
Well, he normally goes by Quinlan, but to a few he's known as the Crazy Diamond.
The Crazy Diamond?
Yep.
So as you're talking Pink Floyd, I would like Lick, Leviticus, Kuva, and Griff, who all make notice rolls, please.
Nobody notices anything. Maybe Click.
It is important to note that Leviticus gets a +2, as does Click, for the sensor systems on their vehicle, or their armor, as the case may be. Don't forget, Frankie, Griff also gets a notice roll. Pretty much all of you detect some movement in the brush ahead. It's pretty close to where Kuva and Griff are flying over, so therefore a bit ahead of the rest of the group.
Okay, so we tell everybody there's movement.
And it appears to be a fairly small target. It's showing up as probably, halfling sized.
Or a child?
Could be a child, but the radar return is more indicating metal.
Uh-oh.
Do I have thermal sensors? I mean, can
You
I do? Okay, let me take a look with infrared.
Okay, there's too much brush in the way for you to get a look at it with infrared. But Kuba and Griff are close enough that they could probably make an attempt to put eyes on it.
Yeah, we'll close distance enough to where we can see it.
So as you approach, you first see a glint of metal, and as you close in, you see what looks like a small robot running at full speed, crashing its way through the brush. The robot does not appear to be armed.
Which direction is he going? Is he going toward our party? Or
he is headed directly towards you, yes.
Okay, I'm going to warn the party. Robot headed your way.
Just as you do that, the robot looks up, sees you in the sky, and starts yelling, "Help! Help!"
Robot is yelling help?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll start scanning the area around the robot, see if I see any threats or anything along those lines.
I'd like to make a whatever notice roll I can.
I'm going to circle the robot with Griff.
You,
I got nothing. I got nothing.
You twist around so hard trying to
I fall out of my chair.
No, you crack your head on the windshield.
Ow. Damn. Curses.
You can make additional notice rolls if you want to try to. So Kuva and Griff, you have the chance to look for additional threats.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll look for Griff as well.
You don't see anything immediately.
I'd like to Benny my notice roll.
Okay.
Are we still? We know where he's running. The area he's running towards us from, right?
He's running towards you more or less, but not exactly from the direction of the village that you're headed for.
So if I pull the car over and take a look out in his direction with my magic glasses?
Yeah, well, you may want to do that because Kuva, you can see movement behind him. It's a fair distance, but whatever is coming this way, you figure will be here in a matter of a few minutes.
Okay. I immediately notify the party of the threat and the direction it's coming from as well, and then kind of circle back toward them, and then between them and the robot, and land Griff.
Okay.
Can we tell what the function of this small robot is?
Not without getting a whole lot closer to it.
Okay.
All right, I'll close distance on the small robot.
Okay, so you're going to move ahead of the driver. Click. You're driving the ATV. Are you guys going to converge on this robot?
Yes. Go!
My recommendation is going to be I'm going to pull this thing over and maybe we should get out, not make ourselves a single target, and then converge on foot. If he's running towards us, we're going to see it anyways.
Okay, so you guys move in on foot. Leviticus moves on foot. Griff and Kuva land, and the robot kind of pulls up short, seeing the glitter boy, and says, "Wow, what kind of robot are you?"
I'm no robot. I am here to help you.
Oh, thank goodness.
I interject immediately. What's chasing you? And I point to the threat. No time for small talk.
I don't know what they are, but they're really big and they're really mean, and I think they got my friends.
There's more of you? How many? What kind of friends?
My friends, Dyson and Moto. I'm Hamilton. We're all looking for our master, Robwan.
Robwan?
Yes.
And how did you happen on your pursuers?
I'm not sure. They've been chasing us ever since we arrived here. I'm not sure how we got to this place. It's really kind of strange, but pretty much as soon as we got here, they started coming after us, and they're really big and really scary, and and I'm really scared. And I don't know what they did with my friends.
Should we look for your friends? Hamilton, he said.
Yeah, Hamilton. My name's Hamilton. On closer inspection, you're still not entirely sure what Hamilton's purpose is, other than he seems to have 2 large rectangular slots in his torso. Slots, yes.
That's where the Death Star
Can we
plans
all
go.
fit into the ATV and start heading towards Bobstown?
You and the robot can fit in. Obviously, the Griffin, the Hippogriff, and the Gooder Boy are not going to fit into the ATV.
Right, but
I'm going to suggest this. How about if I pick the robot up and just carry it for a minute as we close back onto Bobstown?
Whatever's coming at you is more or less coming from that direction.
Right. Hamilton, why don't you get behind me?
That sounds like a great idea. And as you
him about how many things are chasing it, what kind of weaponry they have, etc.
I think the things are about to be on top of us.
They're closing in anyway. Can I get a notice roll from Leviticus, please? All right. So your sensor systems indicate that these things are now about 300 yards away and closing fast. And they are big, and you're getting both thermal and radar return signatures on them.
Okay. So I explain this to everybody and I say, guys, maybe, okay, when we say big, I mean, are we talking bigger than me?
Yes.
All right, guys, maybe we should retreat until we know exactly what we're dealing with.
Can we hide in the brush? You're too big, aren't you?
He's much too big to hide. Yes.
Okay.
All right. I'm basically
going
to be drawing fire. Why don't all of you scatter and take cover?
An ambush, blanket ambush.
Yeah, and I'll draw them out.
How do you guys want to disperse? You're going to stay together? You're going to split up and go to either side? How's this going to work?
I'm actually going to step forward, like to right here, and assume that Hamilton is going to be hide behind me in my shadow.
Okay. And what about the rest of you?
If I could suggest, maybe split up into 2 groups, like back here.
Agreed. I'll stick in the aerial. I'll stick the aerial in this area where I am right now.
Okay. Who are the 2 pairs going to be then?
I'm just going to go wherever, and if somebody follows me, that's fine. I don't particularly care.
I think I'm taking my rifle out, getting behind the ATV for cover so I can see what I can see.
So Lance and Quinlan are going to one side, Lady Mimby is going to the other, and Click is taking cover behind the rifle. And at this point, the targets are now about 100 yards away. One other question for Leviticus. Are you going to plant?
Probably on my first round, yes, because I'm getting the sense these guys are so big that we might need to do something about it. But first, I have to ask the robot Hamilton: will he be affected by the shockwave from the boom gun?
He will not. He can turn his ears off.
Okay, so I tell him to do so, and I plant, and I announce to everybody using our pre-established code word, "boom gun."
So there's a crash as the rocket-propelled spikes fire down from your feet into the bedrock. And just after that crash, you see the first enemies appear. And there are 2 of them, and they are big. And they are freaky looking.
I mean, do they look like bad guys? Like, we just found a small robot that's running away.
Okay, so were any of you involved in the Siege of Tolkien?
I was.
No,
I was not.
That's where I lost all of my friends.
So you recognize these guys.
Oh.
These are some of the creatures that Tolkien invoked to protect themselves that really crossed the line on whether Tolkien was a noble city fighting for survival or a horrible den of evil mages. They are demonics. And demonics were low-level demons who were summoned to Tolkien and then jacked up with techno-wizard bionics.
Oh, boy.
I convey that information. These are bad news. These are very, 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 very bad news.
These particular are of the breed known as feculents.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
They are roughly 12 to 15 feet tall and more than 20 feet in length. They appear to be some sort of sickly white aquatic-ish creature with their limbs replaced with bionics, and they are packing. They've got tentacles, they've got laser rifles, they've got vibro swords, and they are headed your way at speed.
Okay, so we know that these guys are evil, right? These are bad guys, no question.
You do know these guys are evil, and rolling up behind them is another demonics,
Oh boy.
but a different breed this time. This one is known as a hangdog demonics, and it's even bigger.
Question.
Yes.
Can I cast environmental protection as a shield?
As a shield against what?
Specifically them and any types of energy attacks.
You could cast environmental protection against some type, for example, fire or cold on your turn as an action.
Okay.
So coming up behind them is a hangdog, and this is an even bigger creature. It is not armed. It is six-legged, kind of vaguely rhinoceros/triceratops looking, and on its back is a sort of howdah-like arrangement, armored with a pair of heavy cannons facing forward and a tail gunner seat. And there are three guys riding on it. And that will put us into combat.
Oh, man.
The hangdog drew the red joker for initiative.
Oh, man.
Oh.
There.
So it is basically just charging at you at full speed. That's what it's going to do with its turn. So it's closed the range to 90 now.
Pistols out, or whatever you've got, ranged weapons.
Now, they're pretty far off at this point, but 90 is definitely not out of range for ranged weapons. And then one of the guys on the back sees you ahead, and he sees the glitter boy standing there, and he opens up with the cannons on the back of the hangdog. Okay, so that is going to be a shooting roll for him.
I'm kind of a bullet magnet.
I was thinking the side of a barn.
So he fires these two cannons as linked weapons. They blast out at you, and they do...
Ooh.
Dink. Yeah.
Not remotely enough damage. They just ricochet off of your form.
Wow.
And you're just standing there looking at them.
It's good to be a glitter boy.
Wow.
That boy is glittering.
Okay, so that will take us to Kuva.
Is anyone in range of firebolt?
They are out of range of firebolts at this point. Closest ones are 90 away, and you're at 48 inches for maximum range for your firebolt.
Is there any cover anywhere on the battlefield?
There are trees and shrubbery and things where you could land, yeah.
There's shrubbery. Sorry.
He could also hide behind the HEV, which is heavily armored.
I'm going to have him do that, and then I'll...
Plenty of room back here.
Okay, that brings us to the other guys riding on the back.
What's with all these jacks?
They raise their swords, and the swords burst into flame, but they do nothing otherwise.
Okay.
They have flaming swords too?
My kind of guys.
All right.
Okay, Quinlan.
All right. I think I would like to shield myself and... who's next to me?
Lance is next to you.
Okay. Do we know what types of attacks these guys typically have a lot of? Like, are we talking a lot of, like, electrical or energy?
These guys just lit their swords on fire.
Okay, so protection fire.
Go ahead and make the roll. That will succeed, and you, if you're also hitting Lance with it, then you're down 3 power points.
Yeah.
Okay, Click. You're a little further back, so I'm going to say you've got an additional 5 inches of range on these guys, so you're at range 95 right now.
Okay. Is that within range of Blast?
Nope, Blast is fairly short range.
Okay.
It's smarts times 2, which means that it is 16 inches range, so you got a ways before
that's
they're
inches.
in range of that. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
It'll be a little while even before your revolver's in range. You can go into hold action if you want to do that and wait until something is in range to blast or shoot it, as the case may be.
I think I'm going to hold action for right now.
Okay, Lady Mimby.
How about the range of a laser rifle? NGL5.
Your laser rifle is within range. You also, don't forget, as a free action, can activate certain of your powers, which you might want to consider doing. Notably, deflection, which makes it harder for you to be hit.
Yeah, let's do that.
Would you like to Benny?
Yeah, I think we'll do that. What is happening with my rolls tonight? Okay.
Not a good roll.
That's good enough.
Good
And
enough.
you get the auto raise, so you're now at -4 to be hit.
Nice. Okay. And then I'm going to shoot.
Okay, who are you shooting?
I think I have to shoot the, what do you guys think? Flaming sword or the attack dog?
Yes, please.
Okay. We'll do the dog. He's coming at speed and he's bigger, right? So.
You can shoot the biggest guy, yes. That is the hangdog.
Hangdog, yep.
And he is quite large.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Okay, so
Okay, I'm gonna
hang
Benny
on,
that.
hang on.
Okay. The heck?
That's still going to miss.
Oh my God.
It's
All
pretty
right.
terrible.
That is terrible. You know what? I'm going to hold.
You fire wildly at the thing, and that's that.
That's embarrassing.
Leviticus.
Right, so my question here is: so this guy is carrying these 3 guys on his back, yes?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay, so question about the boom gun, is that just single target on this guy, or would that have sort of an area effect of everybody that's riding with him because they're all kind of as a unit?
The boom gun has a medium burst template, so you would hit all
nice.
4 of them.
Well, here we go. So that's my thing. Boom gun minimum range, and this is 250. So this should be very.
It is a short range
shot. So here we go. So do I shooting or just the attack and damage?
Yeah, that would be shooting. That will hit with a raise.
Thank goodness somebody in our team is rolling well.
Oh my God.
What just happened?
How about that?
Wow.
You dial in that sight. You're planted. You fire the thing, and
Holy cow.
it explodes directly underneath this thing.
Wow, well done.
Yeah, this is like a Michael Bay movie. Here we go.
And it goes down.
Wow.
2, 3, 4.
Hang dog?
Is that the dog that you hit?
So there should be area effect on the dog and the 3 guys that it was carrying, right?
Yes, indeed. There's a massive detonation.
Holy
And
smokes.
all of them go down.
Wow.
Boom.
I stand there.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Hello. Glitter boy in the house.
I blink.
All right. So that leaves the 2 feculents are undeterred by this.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Well, it's fine.
And they are also running forward at top speed. And I would like you all to make fear checks because they are really freaky.
I think I'm going to Benny that.
What is happening? Have I rolled anything besides?
You cannot Benny a critical failure.
But was mine critical?
No.
I am losing it tonight.
Okay. Leviticus, I would like you to make a vigor roll,
Fearless
please.
leader.
On top of that? Okay.
Yes.
Much better.
Okay. You avoid falling asleep.
Excellent.
So that's the good news.
Okay. Nice. Hey guys, did I forget to mention about that? I have stress-induced narcolepsy. So in stressful situations, I might kind of spontaneously fall asleep.
Literally asleep at the switch.
Are you telling this?
If we do just
Are
whatever.
we
sleep on it.
noticing that he is like starting to drowse off at all?
No. Narcolepsy is not like I get drowsy.
You
It's like I can be in the
pass
middle
out,
of a
yes.
sentence or in the middle of lining up a
Yes.
shot and just bang, drop off to sleep.
Okay. So we don't notice anything.
It didn't happen this time, so you're fine.
That's very
That's great.
animated.
Okay. So and I would like a D20 roll from Leviticus.
And add 2 to that. So 9.
Okay. I just want to double check that Cyber Knights don't have some special power that keeps them from completely freaking out like you're about to
Oh
do.
man.
Some sort of fearless leader power.
I don't know about that. How many ones can I roll in a night?
Keep them coming.
Apparently.
Okay. So something about these creatures, you just lose it and you are shaken and you run at full speed
Oh
away
my-
from these guys. And Leviticus, you are vulnerable until the end of your next turn.
I don't want to hear about your feelings, man.
Dive behind the bushes, cowering in the air.
Hey, therapy works, man.
You are, in fact, kind of freaking out about this. Okay, so the creatures, they're both going to fire their laser rifles at Mimby because they know they don't have a prayer of actually hitting or doing any damage to a glitter boy with their laser rifles.
Aw, cowards.
And they're also going to do their best to take cover, although there's really not a lot they can do there. They are, however, splitting up so you can't hit both of them with the same boom gun attack.
Clever.
They may be demonic, but
Stupid
they're
learning
Wow.
demons.
We'll see.
Back in my day, they lined up and were shot and lighted.
Okay,
I'm
so
okay.
their shots go wide of Lady Mimby because they're firing at really extreme range. All right, Lance.
Okay, feeling the glow of the juice here. I'm just going to charge that one straight in front of me.
Wow. All right.
They are
Okay.
not. So this thing is about 80 inches away from you right now.
All right, So my pace is 16, so 80, that would be.
But it's running straight at you. So if you charge it, if you charge it and it charges you, then you will converge in 2 rounds or so.
Okay, then I will charge back at it and fire my laser rifle at it as I do.
Okay, fire away. All right, let me check the range on your rifle because there's definitely going to be a range penalty on this.
It's 40, 80, 160.
Okay, so you're at medium range. This thing's very large. That means it does hit.
Boom, boom, boom. There you go.
Pew, pew.
Nice.
Okay, so that is with the scope. That actually would hit with a raise, which is a total of 21 damage, which armor piercing 3 does absolutely nothing.
Oh boy.
21.
Just wait until I get my vibro sword on top of this.
Even with armor piercing, holy crap.
21 damage did nothing?
21 damage did nothing.
That's a tough dude. All right.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
New round. Click, you're up first. These things are now 85 away from you.
So we have a little time?
You have a little time.
Okay, there's not much I can do for Lady Bims.
Nope.
Is she still running in fear?
She will have the chance to stop running in fear this round.
Phew. This is getting embarrassing. I hide my face in shame.
Okay, well, Click saw her run. He saw them fire at her. His first priority right now is to get her to cover.
Okay, so you're close enough that you could run over and tackle her if you want to do that.
What I'm going to try and do is run over, grab her, and pull her towards the ATV.
Shouldn't I be pretty stinking fast, though? I've got fleet of foot.
You are fast, but he's behind the group, so he could potentially intercept you as you run away. So I would like a fighting roll from each of you.
Okay. I would imagine I can dodge him.
It's looking pretty likely that you're going to dodge him, yes.
Oh, you're not rolling ones now?
No, apparently not. Not for my own good.
The fight or flight has swapped over.
Something.
My lady, I'm trying to help you.
Shut up.
You almost grab her, but not quite.
What are you, C-3PO?
Oh, I'm terribly sorry about all this.
All right, so Lance, you're going to continue your charge and fire approach here?
Yes. Once more, I'm going to ditch my rifle after I'm done firing it this turn so I can pull my vibro sword next turn.
This is a nice thing about the Suede rules. You can sling your rifle and draw your vibro sword as free action.
Oh, okay, sweet. So, yes, closing the distance, getting another shot in before it's go time.
Okay, fire away. That will hit.
Big money.
Oh, no big money for me.
No big money for you. All right. The creature is also closing the distance and now sees you. Seeing the Cyber Knight run away and the Juicer running towards them, they are both going to fire at you. So that will now be at medium range for them.
I'm living for this.
And they both miss completely.
Wow.
Yes.
What?
Oh, wow.
You can't hit what you can't see.
All right, Kuva.
Oh, man.
Oh, brother. Wow. Okay.
All right. Let's see. Move a little bit closer.
Okay.
Like maybe right
so
here.
that'll put you up. So
And
they are
then-
now at 65.
At what point can I use my flame bolt?
Next turn, they'll close. The next time they move, they'll close enough that you can flame bolt them.
All right, can I do my flame aura?
Absolutely.
I might do flame armor.
You can do both.
Okay.
So you have the flame armor that's automatic. You just turn it on.
Okay, I'm going to do that. So fiery aura, and then flame armor.
All right. So you're online. All right. That takes us to Lady Mimby, and you can attempt to unshake.
What the?
You're still shaken. However, you do not need to run away if you don't want to. You can move. You just can't take any other action.
You know what? I'm going to stop and if I'm near bushes, I'm going to take cover.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely dive for cover there.
Man.
All right. Quinlan.
I'm going to try and fire a bolt at it.
Hey, I think you skipped me.
Did I? Yes, I did. Okay, Leviticus first, then Quinlan.
Okay, so I'm going because this guy is about to have a big old can of vibro sword opened up on him. I'm going to be shooting at the boom gun over at this guy.
Okay, fire away. That will hit with a raise.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll damage.
What? What? What?
There you go.
Good
That's gonna
lord.
do some damage.
Hoping.
This guy is shredded.
Excellent.
There we go.
Holy cow.
Whose idiot idea was it to close distance on a glitter boy in open ground?
It's not that open. It's just that they're 30 feet tall.
Well, and these guys have mega weapons, don't they?
There's not a lot of cover when you're that tall.
Okay, Quinlan, you would need to be a lot closer to Bolton or anything else.
All right, yeah. So I'll just advance as fast as I can.
Okay, so you're now running into the battle after Lance, although substantially less fast.
Yes.
All right, that'll bring us to a new turn, and Lance is up first, and he sprints right up to this critter,
Oh boy.
the Feculence demon, and engages it with his vibro sword. Whoa!
Nice. Very nice.
What?
Oh my goodness.
That
How does that
is an
happen?
attack. Holy cow.
You roll an
Yeah.
8, then another 8, then a 6.
It's explosive.
Hmm.
All right, so that is a total of 16 damage, armor piercing 4, against a Feculence that actually does nothing.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh man.
Right.
That's not good.
No, that's not great.
Maybe it's the weapon. We can only hope. Because we
You
just
can
watch
only
him
hope,
wail on it and then nothing.
Yep. Leviticus, you're up.
Am I still anchored for the boom gun?
You are still anchored for the boom gun.
Hmm.
See, I was going to use this turn to unanchor and then engage with a vibro sword, but seeing what little good that did, I think I might actually use the boom gun on this guy. Can I range my shot so that our team is not affected by it too badly?
Well, nobody but Lance would be affected by it,
Right.
and you have a chance of aiming it behind the Feculence such that it doesn't affect Lance.
Uh-huh.
But it would depend on how you roll on that.
Hmm.
Kind of, and the boom gun is just like it's pretty heavy hitter. I don't want to take the chance on wiping out Lance.
That would be nice.
But, I mean, just try not to kill your own teammates.
Do you want to hold your
I'm
action
sure you
or?
appreciate it.
Can I do that, Scott?
Or do you want to unanchor? Do you want to try to drop? You could try to drop a grenade in behind him, which does somewhat less damage than the
Would
boom
I still
gun.
need to use this turn to disengage from the boom gun?
No, you're anchored to the ground, so you can't move. But you could certainly switch weapons and fire the grenade
All right,
launcher.
I will do that then. Let me. What have I got here? Okay, I've got I've got a high explosive grenade launcher, and I'm gonna drop it right on him.
Right on him, or try to do the same thing where you drop it behind
How
him.
much of a spread will that do?
So a medium burst template is about a 4-inch radius in terms of board inches. So that's about 8 yards.
All right. So if he's in Vibrosword range, then that's right on top of him. Okay, I will drop that high explosive grenade behind him, and then that should contain it to within just him, leaving Lance just outside the blast radius.
Okay. So the grenade launcher will be at medium range. So this will be at -2. You did manage to drop it where you wanted it. So go ahead and roll the damage for that.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow.
That is very respectable. Unfortunately, it's not armor piercing. And
That was I was debating whether to use armor piercing or high explosive. All right.
And so the explosion washes over the Feculence and has no effect.
Okay, I know. All right, I know what you're getting next round, buddy.
All right, Kuva.
All right.
At this point, this guy is about 70 inches away, table inches away from you.
Okay. Can I reach him with a bolt at all?
No, that's definitely out of range. You'd need to close in, which you could do either on your own or you could call Griff to you and close in a lot faster. Of course, that would involve dropping your flame aura.
Yeah. I want to move. I want to move just as far as I can and still drop my flame aura.
So move as far as you can without dropping your flame aura.
No, I want to do both. So I want to move like it's a regular action to cover if I can. Is there any cover around still?
Yeah, there's all kinds of rocks and shrubbery in the vicinity.
Okay, how many squares can I move within my regular action?
Well, in the scale of map we're using right now, it's basically like 1.
1? Okay. How many would I need to be to actually flame bolt him?
Okay, so your standard fiery blast
It says 12, 24, 48. So 48
Yeah.
at
So
long range.
if you run this round, you would be able to fire it at him next round.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'll move as far as I can toward him.
Okay, so you're now at long range for the flame bolt to attack him.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
That brings us to Click, and seeing that we're kind of in melee at this point, he is going to, and he was completely unsuccessful at trying to drag Lady Mimby out of the way. He's also going to close the range a little bit to where he can be effective.
Oh my!
All right,
I
Lady
gotta
Mimby,
unshake.
you need to make a spirit roll
Yeah, I
to
do.
unshake, or spend a Benny to unshake.
Nice.
Hey, you're not shaking anymore.
I didn't wet myself or anything, did I?
If you did, no one will know because it's in your armor.
Even better. All right.
So you, obviously, you can close the range, but you are one of the folks who has something that can hit at this range. If you move towards him, you can fire at long range with your laser
I was wondering
rifle.
if I. Now, am I going to hit anybody on the team, or like I should be safe? Yeah.
You have a small chance of hitting Lance. Nobody else on the team is close enough to hit. And that will miss because of the extended range, but it doesn't hit anybody you didn't want to hit either.
Okay, that's a start.
That brings us to the Feculence, and a sort of arm extends out of one of its cybernetic legs and blasts some light at
Oh boy.
Lance. That's not very good.
It can certainly try.
There you go.
Yes. Your vibro sword attack, unfortunately, was completely ineffective on the first try.
Oh.
Okay, Quinlan, if you run this round, you will be in smarts ×2 range.
Absolutely, let's do it.
Okay, the downside of running, of course, is that you have a -2 on your actions.
That's okay. I think I want to pop a bolt.
All right. Bingo, and that just hits.
Nice.
There you go.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay, that's a start.
For some respectable damage,
Yeah.
which ricochets off the creature's
Oh
hide.
man.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's the same reason rogues wear leather armor. It's made out of hide.
Oh boy.
So the good news is you just drew the Black Joker.
Whoa, nice.
Uh-oh.
Do it up.
So that means that, for starters, everybody gets a Benny.
All right.
Wonderful.
This is great.
I just remember that works in reverse. If I draw the Joker, then I get bennies.
Yep.
You don't have to.
Bennies are good.
It's more fun.
Yeah.
So that means that everything you do this round is at +2.
Oh,
Nice.
wow. Law of averages doing funny things. I don't think that's going to do anything, though.
That will hit.
Oh.
That hits with a raise, actually. But damage-wise, that does nothing.
Okay.
Even with the +2 for damage. This thing is tough.
Fair enough.
All right. Click continues to close the distance as fast as his Trimador legs will take him. Lady Mimby.
I should be able to run up to him, and I do have armor piercing with.
Well, you cannot get there yet because you're a lot further away than the
Really?
grid indicates. But you are now at medium range for your rifle, so that's good.
Okay, so I will shoot, and can I shoot and run?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
Unfortunately, because you are running and at range, that does not hit.
Man.
Okay, Leviticus.
Okay, I got a question for you. If I use the boom gun and drop the round behind it, will the mass of this creature's body shield Lance?
Possibly.
Oh boy.
Just take the shot.
They're kind of duking it out in melee, so it's not a guarantee.
You think? You think? All right. I'm
We'll find out.
You know, I'll tell you, you never made Admiral without denting a few ships. Okay, let's I will use the boom gun and I'm gonna drop it right there behind him. My plan being that the impact is going to do an area effect on this guy, but then he is going to shield Lance. All right, so here comes.
That is definitely good enough to drop the shot where you want it. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's double last round. Close to it.
That shreds the creature.
What does it do to Lance?
Lance, I would like you to
Man,
make an
I want
agility
one.
roll, please.
Come on, big money, big money.
All right, so you are pelted with hideous demon
cool.
flesh and techno wizard cyborg parts, but your armor takes it, and you're able to dive out of the way before it causes any real damage.
I love it when a plan comes together.
All right, so you're now looking at 3 separate piles of exploded remains. What would you like to do now?
Yeah.
Go through the pockets and look for loose change.
Okay.
I mean, is there anything recoverable from any of these things?
All right, so you start to, and don't forget, you also have this small robot here if you want to talk to him.
Right. Didn't he say that these big guys had taken some of his friends? Like, is there any evidence that any piece of his friends are left? Actually, let's bring out the little robot and ask.
Says, wow, I didn't expect I was going to get this caliber of help. Caliber, I made a joke.
It's funny. It's funny.
I'm. You guys were great. I'm really glad that these aren't the same guys who captured my friends.
So they're different guys?
Yeah, I mean, they kind of, one of them was, a couple of them looked like those guys on that big creature. I don't know what the heck that was. The one that looked kind of like a rhinoceros or something.
Yeah.
There was another one of those rhinoceros with a couple of those guys, but it wasn't the same guys.
Okay. Do you have any?
So I guess they still have my friends, which is not great. But I know if I can find Rob one, he'll be able to help us out.
Do you have any way of finding them?
Not really. I mean, I had some vague idea that he was going to school somewhere, but I kind of got nothing. None of this looks familiar. I've really never been away from home before, so I'm a little freaked out. But I have faith. I'm going to find him eventually.
Where are you from?
I'm from Rob's house.
Rob's house?
I start burning one of the looted bodies while this happens.
Okay.
Is this? Stop that! What are you doing? It's disgusting.
He's had a hard day.
All right. So who all is talking to the robot here, and who is running around looting and or incinerating the bodies?
I am looting and checking the body. Actually, I guess I'm spending the first round untangling disanchoring.
I'll talk to the robot.
I'm hanging with the robot.
I'll talk to the robot, but what are those guys doing? I'm a little distracted.
I mean, it's RIFTS. I get that looting stuff makes sense because, there are scarcities, but still.
So Click's basically trying to collect. He's collecting lots of techno wizard parts from one of these creatures and kind of looking at him like, this is really interesting. I wonder what this does. Oh, tucking him into pockets on his armor.
Oh, man.
I pet this ugly techno kitty, but I'm like, that's not a good choice.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking for bits that are salvageable, that might be valuable or reusable.
Okay, so as you're looking through, Brendan, I would like you to make a notice check.
Penny it.
Ha, I see nothing.
Oh.
Yep, nothing to see here.
Should I have any of that?
You cannot make a critical failure.
Oh, dang it! All right, well, fine.
Now we know.
So meanwhile, with the robot, she's like, "Yeah, I'm from Rob's house. That's where my buddies were from too."
Who's Rob?
Who's Rob?
He's my master, Rob Wan.
Did he build you?
No, I'm pretty sure he bought me. But that's I don't know. Do you remember when you were a baby? Come on.
Good point.
I guess I would assume that your memory is not quite as plastic.
Actually,
that
silicon.
said,
Yeah, it is silicon. You guys are a laugh a minute. This is great. I mean, where are you guys from? I mean, some of you look like robots, like that big guy who is shooting the big gun.
I, sir, am no robot. I am a glitter boy and fiercely proud of it.
We just left Nathan's Ford and we're going to Obstown. Okay, so do you know why you were attacked and your friends taken?
I'm not really sure. I heard them saying something about a portal, I think, or a gate. something like that.
There's going to be a rift around here.
Interesting. It's funny you mentioned that. Can my character sense anything about this? Can he sort of pick up on what he's putting down, as it were?
There are no ley lines in the immediate vicinity, nor do you sense any rifts. So there's a small ley line at maybe a mile off, but no rifts that you can sense within the range you can detect.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I've been at this for a while. I've been, on the run for a couple days. I think I covered a lot of ground. Not really sure. Like I said, none of this looks very familiar at all.
You've been on the run from these robots that were chasing you and your friends.
I don't really
correct?
think of them as robots. I mean, I got some metal parts and all, but did you see that thing? I've never seen anything like that, and I watched a lot of the Nature Channel. Let me tell you.
You're watching the Nature Channel.
All right, Scott. I'm onto this main group of bad guys here, and I'm looting them as well as burning.
Click's already forged through them, and he comes back to the group. He says, I found something on what was left of the leader. Not sure exactly what it means, but I found a message in his belt pouch.
Let's have at it.
I come back to the group.
It says, capture the runaways and be on the alert for any information about the seal.
Okay, is it SEAL?
Yes.
Capture the runaways.
I bet that's me.
Yeah, so where did you run from?
Wouldn't that be runaway singular, though?
Well, no, I mean, I had my friends with me, so, I guess they had a bunch of these guys out looking for us. Man, they must think we're really important, but I can't imagine why, actually. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's not like I'm, a big gun-toting monster like this guy over here.
Are you carrying anything? I mean, did somebody give you something like a code or drugs or something? Something
drugs?
valuable?
No, Robon would never do drugs. Come on. No, code. Code.
You don't get out much, do you?
All
right.
Yeah, no, a code. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I mean, I got a warranty, I think.
Oh dear.
You'd have to check my butt, but
Is anyone good with technology that can examine him? I suggest that. Is anyone good with technology that can examine him? Like give him a pat and kind of slap him.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly am. I mean, I've got a lot of high tech gear in the armor.
And Click certainly is good with technology as well.
Yeah, so I say to the little robot whose name I've totally forgotten.
Hamilton. Name's Hamilton.
Hamilton. That's right. Hamilton. Would you mind if I hooked up to your memory and had a quick check for any files that have been recently added to you?
I mean, if you can figure out how, sure, not a problem.
Okay.
Click can manage that. He can make that connection.
Okay. Where do we do that?
Let me know if you hit any security, unless you know how to hack.
I'm a D6 for hacking. What are you?
The same.
Okay. All right. So Scott, would that be a hacking roll?
It actually wouldn't, because you are able to make the connection, but absolutely nothing makes any sense about this robot whatsoever.
Now, explain that.
In fact, you're not entirely sold that it's a robot at all. Whatever technology it's running on is not anything you recognize.
Really?
Okay, I'll share this with everybody. I mean, that in itself is pretty fascinating. So, all right, I undertake a more detailed physical examination of the robot for makers, manufacturer's marks, or
am I getting a mystical connection to it at all, Scott?
No, you don't get any psychic feelings on it. There's no arcane feelings on it. It appears to be technological in origin, but not a technology that any of you are really familiar with.
Hey, Hamilton, what do you do? What can you do?
I can cook things.
I sense a joke.
Like what kind of things?
You guys got any bread?
Right.
Yeah, do we have some in our rations? I'll totally give them a piece.
Yeah.
You can come up with something bread-like from the rations. Yeah. It's like, how about waffles? You guys got waffles?
Nope, we don't have waffles.
We've got like sort of hardtack dried biscuits.
Yeah, I was going to say, who packed waffles?
Yeah.
I'm sure Kuba could cook it.
Okay.
So you produce like a cracker or a wafer from your rations. He's like, great. And he pops it into one of the slots on his chest.
Uh-huh.
And there's a brief pause and a glow, and then it pops back out nicely browned.
And it's a toaster. All right. Right. Okay.
So what else can you?
I mean, I can walk around and talk to you guys, but basically this is my thing.
Okay. So you came from Rob's house. Where were you before that?
I don't have any memory before that. Maybe I wasn't powered up before that.
What's your first memory?
It's Rob Wan making breakfast. He loved
those
Rob Wan? Toaster waffles.
I whisper to one of the back line crew members, and I say, We should leave the toaster and move on.
No, wait a minute. How often is it that we come across technology that is so
That's true.
So unfamiliar.
so unfamiliar that we can't even really be sure if it's alive or not? I think this is certainly worth investigating.
Well, and he's been attacked. I think it's our duty to protect him.
You guys are the first friendly people I've run into on this wherever the heck we are. So all else being equal, until I get some kind of idea of where to find Robwan, I'm cool with hanging with you guys. Maybe we'll run into more of these guys, and then the Gigantor over there can blow up the other guys. But if I'll let you know if I see my friends, because probably not the best idea to blow up the one that they're riding that way. That would maybe not be cool.
My name is Leviticus.
Oh, that is a cool name, man. Leviticus. Whoa. That's awesome, Leviticus. Yeah, that's badass.
Do robots in this world
You know what?
use colloquialisms like that? I mean, do they speak in idioms and whatnot, or is it like how much of his behavior is a surprise to us?
This is not normal behavior that you've encountered with robots. The most common robots you've encountered are Coalition Skelebots, which, to use an Earth metaphor, you're basically talking Terminator skeletons.
Right.
So this is an unusually personable robot by any estimation.
So we've met R2D2. I'm sorry, C3POs.
Something closer to that. Yeah. Which there are certainly some robots or cyborgs that fit into this category, but it's unusual. Let's put it that way.
Would it be like an unusual thing in the sense that like its programming is different and it's not typical of the type of robot it normally is? Like in other words, is it like an IG-88 but with C3PO's programming basically?
Given that it may be a toaster bot, this is definitely outside your experience. You've never encountered a toaster bot before.
So we don't know if it's really bad or good in terms of like our perception.
Wait, so did you and your friends run away from some place?
No, Robwan left home and he didn't come back for a while, and we got worried. So the three of us decided we'd best go look for him.
How long was he gone before you decided to look for him?
I don't know, maybe 8-10 days, something like that.
Did he tell you where he was going?
Like I said, he said he was going to school, but I thought he was done with school. He's a grown-up man, so I don't know what the deal is.
What schools are around?
Do we know of any schools in the area?
You know of no educational institution anywhere nearby.
An educational institution.
But this is not where something weird happened, because one minute I was with my friends and we were on the road and we thought we kind of knew where we were going, and the next minute we're in the middle of this forest, and then all these guys come after us, and it's just something weird happened.
So what does a rift look like? Could they have passed through a rift and been misidentified?
This doesn't sound like a rift, because rifts are generally big glowing energy portals, and this sounds more like teleportation of some kind rather than passing through a rift.
How common is that?
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who can teleport. It's a power. Some ley line walkers can do it. Some mind melters can teleport. It's not unheard of.
I think that if whoever was guiding these bad guys thought that this little robot and his companion robots were so important that they sent this kind of firepower to apprehend them, I mean, this has got to be a pretty significant thing. And I don't think we should.
Yeah, I think we should keep them with us, if only for their own protection.
Hey, I can ride in your truck over there or whatever the heck that is.
All right,
that's cool.
I agree. It is very cool. Listen, is there any way that you could signal to your companions? I mean, to your robot buddies? I mean, do you have like a Wi-Fi or Find My iPhone type deal?
I could yell really loud.
Dude, work with me here.
Dude.
Well, I'm adopting his idiom, hoping that I'll be able to communicate more effectively. I adopt the idiom of my interlocutor.
No, I mean, Moto had a radio set up, but not me or Dyson.
Moto, Dyson, Hamilton. What did Moto do? What could Moto do?
I mean, that radio was pretty much his thing. I mean, he could play music and the news and stuff. Although once we got here, he couldn't really pick up much.
Okay, what could what was the
Dyson?
other guy? Dyson
Question.
Oh man, he was awesome at cleaning floors.
Okay.
I knew it.
Okay. All right. Hamilton, do you have is your last name Beach by any chance?
How did you know?
Oh, Christ.
Okay, I was. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Odd. Okay, so now we have some sense of
Wow. All right.
Okay. So I'm guessing that all three of you guys together were keeping house for Rob One. Is that an accurate description of what your job was?
Yeah, I mean, there were some other guys there too, but we were the ones who were the most worried. So, we decided we would have to go out there, and Dyson was pretty good at moving us around. So it worked out well until this whole teleportation, did you call it? I don't know. However we got here, that really messed us up.
Okay.
Okay, well, why don't you stay with us? And so I don't know that it would make sense to go look for your friends in the reverse direction. But if you'd like to travel with us to whatever our next destination is, that'd be great.
Bobstown.
Right. Let's do that. Because I also think that if this guy is part of something very important, then they're going to send more people after him.
Yes, I agree.
So I think Trump's going to find us.
One of my questions, though, is are we equipped with stuff to pick up whatever transmissions, his other buddies might be using to communicate? Like, I know you said radio, but, like, is it assumed we have stuff on our persons or in our vehicle that would detect such things?
I certainly am.
Most of you have short-range radio in your armor.
Right. Okay, great.
But it is short range, and you can spend some time scanning frequencies, but unless they're relatively close, you're not really going to pick anything up. One of the effects of the rifts opening up on Earth is that the range of electromagnetic communication is drastically reduced.
Okay, that's what I thought, yeah.
Well, as we walk or as we move along, I set up a program to do frequency scanning all up and down, all the available civilian frequencies, looking for, see if they're going to send out something that would be recognizable as a distress signal, trying to connect with Hamilton.
Go ahead and make a hacking roll for that purpose.
Nah.
Okay. Well, you've got something going, but you're not feeling real confident in it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
All right. So you roll on for a few more hours and you roll up to Bobstown. Bobstown is a little bit larger settlement than Nathan's Ford. There's more. The farms start maybe a couple miles outside of the center of the little town. There's more like a dozen buildings in the downtown area. It has kind of a Wild West town feel, where you've got one street with a bunch of buildings on it and then outlying farms and things. And as you roll up, a couple of the locals come out with laser rifles and take cover and train them on the vehicle. And then they see the glitter boy and they kind of pop up and wave and they come over to greet you.
That wouldn't have been your smartest move anyway.
To greet the glitter boy?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Glitter boys are known throughout the land as being honorable, upstanding protectors of the citizenry. Hail, fellows, well met.
You must be Tomorrow Legion.
Indeed we are.
Yeah, that's who we work for.
Absolutely.
What brings you to Bobstown?
We were sent by...
We found your toaster.
Howling.
You found our toaster? You were sent by Ella Vowels? Yeah, I figure, the Legion, we're pretty close to the castle, so Legion Command does like to keep tabs on us, but nothing much going on here. We heard some rumblings off to the north a few hours ago, though. Sound like some action. You guys get involved in some kind of a fracas?
We come south from where they heard that. Okay.
Yeah, we had a little trouble.
We're talking Rifts, Coalition, Federation of Magic. What are we talking about here?
What's the best way to describe the people that we ran into?
You know what? We're not entirely sure who it was, but they sort of came after us. And do these people feel all right? Like, why? I guess there's a part of me that's like, why'd they meet us with guns drawn? Is it just that dangerous a town?
Well, they are pretty close to the frontier with the Federation of Magic, so it's possible they're just being cautious when they see anybody they don't know.
Okay, so then I'm going to say we found this little robot Hamilton, and he asked us for help for our protection, and so we gave it.
That's what I like to hear from you Tomorrow Legion folk. It's a relief to have somebody around here who cares about the little people, or little robots, I guess.
Well, speaking of little robots, was there any other little robots that came by here, or that you might have seen passing by, kind of comparable to this little guy? He's looking for a couple of friends.
The guy kind of turns his head and spits. Only robots I've seen in my time are Dead Boy, Skelebots, and just as glad not to seen any of them around here.
Amen to that, my friend.
Okay.
But yeah, if you're checking in, haven't seen any sign of trouble from the feds out east, and seems like we're doing pretty well here. Crops looking good for the harvest. Think we'll be okay. Probably can sell some food to the castle if there's interest.
All righty.
We'll certainly pass that along. What time of the day is it? Like, should we? I'm assuming we should spend the night here.
Oh, yeah.
It's still fairly early because you've got some serious travel. So you could spend the night here. It's mid to late afternoon.
What would be our doing due diligence as far as, kind of looking around, making sure everybody is okay and everything is as it seems?
Yeah, you all might want to talk to Bob, the mayor. He might know if anybody needs healing or anything of that sort.
All right.
Yeah, do we have wounded still? Anyone have wounds in our party?
No. All right. And so as we walk along, I mean, I'm walking along in the big the glitter boy armor, and I just kind of loudly mention as we're walking along, yep, these patrols come through here on a pretty regular basis, but you never can be sure when we'll show up. So it sure is good that the people around here take the law seriously and respect each other's property and respect each other's rights.
Yeah, we don't cotton to anyone messing with anyone around here. We had some of those feds come over last year riding some sort of big old demon. And that was bad. We had to pretty much give them what they wanted because we're not in any position to handle something like that. But little stuff, yeah, we can cope with that.
All right.
Who came through? Just random feds? Like, is this normal behavior? Or am I just appalled?
No, you're not too surprised. Just like the Coalition, the Federation of Magic sends out patrols, and Ella Vowels did warn you that they were active in this area, so it's not too surprising.
All right. Do you have any way of communicating to the castle for help should such a need arise?
We'd have to send someone.
No courier pigeons?
On foot or horseback. That's the best we could do.
I see.
Fair enough.
Well, I mean,
yeah, that's a great idea. If you could find us some pigeons, maybe we could train them up.
Train them up. Okay.
And Quinlan, as you're talking to this guy about pigeons, there is a sudden wash of energy that you immediately sense.
Okay. I'm just asking thematically, would it be common for like my eyes to glow like Storms do when she's about to do a lightning bolt or something? Or is it just like a subtle, intuitive kind of feeling?
If you want your eyes to glow when this happens, they absolutely glow.
Yeah, I want them to glow like a sparkly, like iridescent blue, but like my whole eye goes blue. Like I've just been ingesting a ton of spice.
So your eyes go blue, and your
Wrong
head
planet.
They sort of like
your head,
lightningy and crackly. Yeah,
and your head turns to the southwest because you have sensed that a new rift is opening.
So I look at everyone, and there's a rift over there.
The Rift setting, the Megaverse, and associated characters and locations are the property of Palladium Books. Savage Worlds is the property of Pinnacle Entertainment. All other content is the property of Happy Monster Press. Find us at www.happymonsterpress.com or as Happy Monster Press on Twitter, Facebook, MeWe, and Pashpost. Theme music, Jason Shaw's Ice Cold.
Oh, for sure.